Hey guys, what's up? This is Viper here. Welcome to your first custom connector tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be discussing how to set up the environment to build your custom connector in MuleSoft. So let's get started with the prerequisites. The first thing that you need to have is an AnyPoint Studio. And now, if you are a general Mule developer, you would already be having that. And if you are starting Mule with custom connector, so you need to download this from the MuleSoft website. And the second thing you need for Mule to run, and again if you are a MuleSoft developer, you would be knowing this, is Java. So you can go to the Oracle website and download Java. It should be up and running in your system. So these two things for a MuleSoft developer are pretty common. I'm not showing you this, how to download these two things. The third thing which is important here is Maven. Now some of you who are Mule developers may not be using Maven because Mule works without Maven as well. But to build a custom connector in Mule, we need Maven. So what does Maven do and what is Maven? So just a brief about Maven. Maven is a free building tool which will download all the jars for your custom connector and package your custom connector so that it can be added to Exchange or AnyPoint Studio and can be used just like any other Mule component. And the fourth and probably the last thing that we need is DevKit plugin. Now this plugin will go to our AnyPoint Studio, which we have downloaded first. So let me get started with Maven. So Maven is a free tool provided by Apache organization, and it's available for free. So you can Google it and see, it's there in my Google search. So that's it, Apache Maven download, and here you go, Apache Maven. Now this is the site. The latest version, it obviously gets the latest version every time. It's 3.3.9. and get here. If you are using Windows, well, you can download any of these, but I would suggest you download this zip file directly, Apache Maven bin.zip. Okay, and Maven is not a software, so you don't need any kind of installation. You just download it in your file drive anywhere where you can point it, and you just get started with it. I already have downloaded Maven and unzipped it. So this is my Maven directory, and after delving into it, this is what we find. Now before I explain how do you set up Maven for AnyPoint Studio, and I'd like to tell you that you should not skip this part as if you're using Maven continuously, because to set up DevKit or use Maven for MuleSoft, you need to make some changes to the standard Maven. So that's why this is an important part in setting up the environment. First, let's go and see if we are not using, if we are not installing Maven, then how are we going to use it. So you have to set environments variable which point to your Maven directly. This is for a Windows system, so you go ahead and click on properties, and this comes up, and click on advanced system properties. 1 minute, just some authentication, just bear with me, and we have it here. So you would get this in system properties, and we click on environment variables to alter these. Now the first thing is creating an environment variable. So you go here, click on new, you see two fields. Now the variable name for Maven is predefined, which is m2 underscore home, and the variable value is actually the directory where your Maven is stored. I go into my D drive, and this, I open this, and whatever I get here is my m2 home variable value. I'm going to get back to this place. Okay, yeah. So I'm not going to do it because I already have declared my m2 home variable. So I'm just going to cancel it. The second thing that you have to do is modify your path variable. Select path, click edit. You'd get something like this if you're using Windows 10, but if you're using Windows 8 or any previous version of Windows, you'll get a single bar with all these values separated by a semicolon. So just add a semicolon and then put the new value. So what should be there in the system variable? System variable should contain the folder path to the bin directory. Now this should be the added value to your system variable. Now let's see how I am doing it. Now your %m2 home, because I'm a bit of lazy guy, I have referenced my m2 home variable here and added /bin to it, but I suggest you should copy the entire directory there and paste it here. If it doesn't work out, you can do it this way also. Okay, so that's all for the environment variable, and we are good to go. Now discussing about what all should we do in Maven. So now the other change we need in Maven is you go into the conf folder, that is the configuration folder, and open settings.xml. This file is going to contain all the configuration that you're going to have for your Maven. So this is my standard settings.xml, but for this video I have created a dummy file which is the exact version of what you want to do. So let's start exploring it. Now the first thing, if you are using Maven for the first time, is you need to check this so that this is pointing correctly, so that this folder structure is actually a folder inside your computer. Okay, and even if it is not, then Maven will create it for you, but just be sure of it. Now for custom connector, the first thing that has to be added is a plugin group. Now you need to define a plugin group which points to org.mule.tools. Again guys, you don't have to worry about it, it is just a configuration thing, so you just have to copy paste it and modify it, and then go to the next part, that is adding profiles. You would see a profile section inside a Maven. If it is commented, please uncomment it, and then inside the profiles section you add two profiles, one pointing to the Mule repository and one pointing to the Mule extra repository. These are just for telling your Maven that when you're trying to build any Mule application through Maven, don't point and don't go to the generic Maven repository, go to the Mule Maven repository, and we are good to go now. That's all we wanted. Again guys, the name of this file should have been settings.xml, not settings.xml as devkit, but just to show you I have created this dummy file. The real file is this settings.xml, so make sure when you do it in your system you modify all the changes to settings.xml. Now the most important thing is our Anypoint Studio. So what is to be done? Now we get to our fourth point, that is the devkit plugin. Now a normal Anypoint Studio will not have a support to create custom connectors. So to do that you have to install a devkit plugin. So we go to help and say install new software. Now in work with, you'll get a drop down here, select the element which says Anypoint devkit update site, and the moment you click it, it will show pending here, so that it's downloading what all is there in the devkit plugin. And you see you don't have to worry about the version, it always gives you the latest version. Just select it, say next, accept the licenses, follow the steps, and your devkit plugin would be installed. I'm not going to do that because I already have the devkit with me, and for the same reason it won't let me install it again. So I'm just going to click cancel, but you guys make sure you follow up next, accept the license, and let it download the devkit, restart your Anypoint Studio, and then it's done. Now guys, the next most important thing is, if you see this mule design here, right next to it you will find something called open perspective. Now guys, this is a check here. If your dev kit installation was successful, you will find an option called dev kit here. If Anypoint Studio shows that your installation was successful and you don't find something called dev kit here, that means it was not successful. So make sure you're getting something like dev kit here to mark successful installation of your Anypoint Studio. So I'm going to select the dev kit perspective, which will it's a favorable layout for me to build a connector in Anypoint. You see some UI change. Okay guys, that's it for setting up the studio. And another check, the last thing, when you try to create a new project, let me do that again in a bit clean way. So this is for a new project. You click on it inside Mule, because now your dev kit is successfully installed. You'll find these two additional things: Anypoint connector component and Anypoint connector project. So in the next tutorial we'll be building a very basic Anypoint connector project, and if you have reached this place, that means you have successfully set up the dev kit environment. For any queries, please put me in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Okay guys, thank you. That's it for this video. See you in the next video.